Hello, hello, I'm Kasasagi Usagi, and I am here with more Final Fantasy XIV. You may be wondering, who's this? This isn't our beautiful cat girl. You're right, it's not. So yesterday, I made a terrible error, um, and I was under the impression that you could abandon job quests, and you cannot. So we were in a bit of a sticky situation, because I skipped a very important cutscene to get into a queue, which I missed anyway, and then couldn't rewatch that cutscene. And I contacted Final Fantasy XIV, and I was like, please, there has got to be a solution to this. And they responded by not responding, which was super cool of them. Uh, I could have been playing any music. I'm an absolute fool. So I panicked and I didn't know what to do, and the solution online said, well, you can watch it in the unending journey, but you can't actually watch it until you finish the quest line, and that's counterproductive. So we're just gonna watch the cutscene that we missed on Casa, and then we will switch back to Akali and continue what we were doing. It's so obnoxious. Let's see, job quests. This like full of war. I was super frustrated. I couldn't believe that you couldn't abandon job quests so we could start over, but it's fine. Just pretend it's a cat girl. Yeah, it's okay. Just pretend it's a cat girl. Greetings, Master. It has been too long. Estinien, end this folly at once. You must know that each second that I passes outside Ishgard's walls brings us closer to a repeat of the tragedy of 20 summers past. Surrender yourself and the Eye, and return to me to Ishgard before it is too late. But it is already too late, Master, for you see, Nidhogg has already awakened. What? Hear me, Master, you have mistaken the cause of the dragon's return. The Eye is not to blame. A premonition came to me by virtue of the dragon within, warning me that the great worm would soon rouse. Even as he slumbered, Nidhogg seethed with irrepressible rancor for the wound of 20 years ago. The rancor will send him flying as a speeding arrow to Ishgard, whereupon death and devastation will ensue. But there is a possible solution. Where the Eye was taken to a remote land far from the Holy See, then and only then could destruction be averted and the lives of innocent Ishgardians be spared. You mean to make bait of yourself? Nay, there is more than you let on. You seek vengeance for Ferndale. To me, the two are one and the same. You know my past better than anyone else, if it was for no other reason than to avenge my family that I became a dragoon. Dragons long outlive men, and do not soon forget the wrongs done to them. What grudge they harbor burns as fire in their hearts, over time swelling into an unquenchable inferno. You need only look back on history to see that Nidhogg grows stronger with each awakening. When last he darkened our skies, the great worm came within a hair's breadth of laying waste to Ishgard. Naught short of death will prevent him from completing his mission when he awakes. Nidhogg took everything from me. Now I shall take everything from him, even if it means my life. The Eye works in ways men can ill comprehend, but this much is plain. In choosing two Azure Dragoons in one generation, it means for us to join together in common cause. Adventurer, you have heard my resolution. Now I ask you to lend me your power. Aye, the power of the dragon. In the long and proud history of Ishgard, never have there been two Azure Dragoons arisen in the same era to fight as one. This is our best, nay, our only chance to send the great worm to eternal slumber. Behold my armor. This is the Trachean mail, forged in the lifeblood of dragons. As blood calls to blood, so too does the armor call to the dragon within, redoubling the wearer's strength thereby. If you would realize your potential as an Azure Dragoon, you must needs clad yourself in the same. Clad so you will inherit the technique passed from Azure Dragoon to Azure Dragoon, down through the generations. Then, and only then, will your training be complete. But first you must win the Dragon Mail as I and Sir Elmeric did before you, by proving yourself worthy in the ultimate trial of the Azure, a series of battles so harrowing as to send the unworthy to an early demise. Master, once this adventurer acquires the armor, pray see to it that she learns to harness the power of the dragon in full. Estinien, wait! Save your worries. I do not mean to make myself easy prey for dragons. I take my leave of you. Okay, perfect. That is an important cutscene. I need to be free of this place. I also need to turn the sound up, because for whatever reason, it turned it back down. Okay, I'm glad I couldn't remember what the cutscene was, quite literally, but I'm glad I went back when it had to be done on a different character. I've completed one of the trials. It's all the people that we met before during the Dragoon quest. Which is fine. And they're like... And then they give you pieces of the armor. So, like, when we were a white mage, we had to go to all the stones to seek out the old original white mage outfit. We're doing technically kind of the same thing as a dragoon. We are looking for... we're just being handed the pieces, unlike everyone else has to go find their shit. Okay, she's right here, actually. So I have my dragoon pants. You can't really see them. They're scaled. You, a foreigner, would don the dragon armor, then prove to us that you will not do it dishonor. Yeah, no problem. I don't think anything in here will actually bother me. Sir Elbrick said the eye had chosen you, and it would appear he speaks true. The armor is yours, wear it with pride and honor. Your trial is nigh complete, but be forewarned, many before you have made it this far, only to fall at the final challenge. Do not let your overconfidence be your downfall. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm gonna look like such a clown. So you have made it this far. Very well. Prove yourself worthy of the Azure, or die in the effort. Yeah. Boots? You've demonstrated your powers to me beyond a doubt. Aye, there is not an Ishgardian who would gainsay your right to don the armor of dragons. I shall send word to Sir Elbrick that you have passed your trials here. It is he who shall present you with the 4th piece of armor and consummate your trading. Go now, my fellow dragoon, and deliver this land from the Great Worm's wrath. These are actually some fine-ass shoes. Hold on. It's so dark in here, but look at the purple. Oh, fantastic. Can I get out this way? Would you just let me leave? I was trying to find the entrance this way, and that did not go well. Oh, that's right, because it's out this way. I remember. I remember. I hear from Sir Rosemount that you performed most impressively. Yes, I stand more convinced than ever that you will be the one to save our land. Yet be warned, Akali, one last trial awaits you. You will face this trial in the presence of not of knights, but of ghosts. Make your way towards the Steel Vigil, and seek out the gravestone north and west of the structure. Take with you this flute, and when you reach your destination, blow a single, strong note. A visitor shall soon arrive. Entertain your guest, and should he leave behind a present, return it here to me. This is some convoluted bullshit. For dragoons, no less. I would expect this kind of nonsense out of bards. Oh, things to kill. Play the flute and complete the trial. Something's here that's not this exactly. I thought that on these rocks was the symbol of Halone. But I don't oh, there it is. It's right there. That's Halone. I think. It's gotta be Halone. It's an Ishgard. That was a whistle. Not a flute. But that's fine. Ah! I just wanted to fly over the mountains. Your presence before me indicates that you have seen to the visitor. Have you aught to show for your deeds? Bones. Ah, the skull of Greywine, the old warrior of the Dravanian horde. It's said that in ages past he could bring down a castle with a single breath. His strength has dwindled since those days, but a dragon past his prime is a formidable foe nonetheless. In slaying him, you have proven yourself worthy of this. You now possess 4 pieces of the armor that Estinien, myself, and our forebears did wear. While you doubtless wonder where the 5th I can tell you only that it is not mine to give. Fear not, however, your triumphs in the trials ahead against the dragon of the Horde give evidence that the Drakian blood now resonates with yours. Yes. You stand before me as prepared for your ultimate challenge as any can be. And yet, before we proceed, I would hear it from your own lips. The Great Worm's power is the stuff of legends. Have you truly resolved to fight this battle, to risk your own life to deliver a foreign land from the clutches of its ancient foe? When you're certain that your mind is settled, return and speak to me. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I wish I had dye so that I could look a little more put together. Alas. Wait, hold on. I don't think this is technically worth doing. I just want to look nice for the big battle. You know what? That's fine. Close enough. I could have sold that for money. Sir I don't want to look... That's exactly it. Sir Albrecht would ask you to reaffirm your commitment to do battle with the Great Worm. So you would join your strength to Estiniens, that Ishgard might be free from the rage of the Great Worm forevermore. And I shall honor thy promise. You shall have full use of your powers by the time we are done. Before we begin, there's something I must needs confess. You will recall the tale of my battle with Nidhogg 20 years past, and how the power of the dragon left me on account of the injuries I sustained. What I said was an untruth. The power did not abandon me, Akali. It was I who abandoned it. Being derived from our mortal enemies, the power of the Azure Dragoon is a double-edged sword. Even as it lends us the strength we need to smite dragons, it heightens our communion with the creatures, rendering our minds more susceptible to their seduction from ordinary men. Even as I buried my lance in Nidhogg's flesh, our gazes locked, and mine eyes met then with a look that would fair impale a man. It was that in that instant I find myself assailed by the torrent of emotions not mine own. Sorrow, rancor, pity. They threatened to drown the man in me and leave behind a dragon. Fearing that I might turn traitor, I chose to purge myself of the power that the eye had bestowed upon me. Thus, regaining lucidity, I was able to rout the grievously wounded Nidhogg. Alas, countless of his brethren yet remained, as if to mock me. They fell upon Ferndale with a vengeance. Bereft of my power, it was all I could do to save but one child. Nereus Knoll knows of this. Nay, not even Estinien. But I can keep him in the dark no longer. At our last meeting, Estinien said that protecting Ishgard and extracting revenge upon Nidhogg are as one to him. That frame of mind, I fear, may well lead to his demise. The desire to protect and the desire to avenge are opposing forces that can ill be reconciled. Worse, the latter serves only to cloud his sense of self. When next Estinien and I meet, I intend to confess all, though it mean the loss of his good opinion. The outcome of this coming battle and his very life may well depend upon his readiness to relinquish his powers. Never allow yourself to forget the origin of your strength. Ever does the dragon lurk behind your eyes, biding its time, ready to claim you for its own. Aught less than complete conviction, and you will find yourself in its vice-like clutches. So forewarned, let us return to our present endeavor. My promise to Estinien was that I would impart upon you the technique that will mark you as a true Azure Dragoon. If you would know the truth, however, this knowledge is not within my power to bestow. No, you must claim the technique much as you claim the fourth piece of armor you bear, by proving yourself in battle with dragons whose power you would unite with your own. I entrust you with this flute once more. Take it to the southwest of Providence Point, and blow a single note. By locking wills with your adversary and prevailing, you will prove yourself worthy to champion the cause which your lance has sworn. The dragon within you shall then awaken. Oy, 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 oy. Not a bunch of people. There's only... Oh. There's dragoons, which use the power of the dragon. But there's only a couple people that are the Azure Dragoons, which is that man, Estinien, and myself. I don't think regular dragoons have that power. I'm special, though, I guess. I'm not quite sure, actually. Maybe? And I fly away on my pretty little peacock. Yeah, Azure Dragoons are special in that they have a... They're chosen by the Eye of Nidhogg, who is a very, very angry dragon. Regular dragoons harness the power of dragons, but not to the same extent. It's not very well explained. Or I simply cannot grasp the concept. Hell yeah. It is good to see you safely returned. I take from your bearing that the engagement went favorably. They got an 8-foot vertical leap. You left this place as a woman, Akali, but you returned as a dragon. There is no more... God, I wish that were true. There is no more for me to teach you. From here, your battle is yours and yours alone. Now, you might recall me saying that the 5th and final piece of the dragon armor was not mine to give. However, that is not wholly true. This man is full of lies. I could guide you in the direction of that which you seek. That said, I yet have reservations. The sheer power of the dragon housed within is such that a great many of your Azure forebears, myself among them, have proven hopelessly incapable of wielding it. But I do not doubt what I see. Within you has awakened a strength that forever eluded the likes of me. If you are not worthy of wearing the armor, then I know none who are. Remember my warning to you, Akali, and heed it well. Nidhogg is a lord among his kind, aught less than complete conviction, and you will surely fall under his thrall. Before you can master your foe, you must needs master yourself. Hone your lance arm till it can bear no further honing, and then present yourself to me. When the time has come, I will tell you what you need to know. I look forward to our next meeting, my young dragoon. Hey, good news. I'm ready for that right now. No, I'm good. I've trained until I can train no more. I'm not going to be actually wearing any of this dragoon armor for the, well, definitely not the chest piece, but so this is what the main piece looks like, and I think it's the biggest bunch of bullshit that the female set has a tummy window for no fucking reason. There was no reason to change that. The regular ass armor for the boys is like, it looks just like Estinien's. What the fuck is this? It's the worst. It's only on the female armor. Sir Albert wears a solemn expression on his face. Yeah, it's the most vulnerable part, and they're just like, tummy window for the females. There's some weird choices they've made with male and female class sets. Clothing in general for some cases, but for class sets in particular, it's usually the girls that get, well, it's usually the guys that get screwed, because pants just, for whatever reason, don't fit a lot of male characters super well. So like the level 80 and the level 80 black mage and red mage sets for girls are so goddamn cute and adorable because they're these amazing skirts and dresses, but they look like absolute disasters on the men because the pants just don't look like they fit them right. So bad. Ugh. Sir Albert wears a solemn expression on his face. God, I wish. Ah, Akali, an urgent message arrived from Estinien in your absence. Yeah? My absence? He bids you come at once to the Steel Vigil. It would seem Nidhogg is on the move, and rather sooner than we had anticipated. It appears you have not fully become a master of the dragon within you, and yet we are racing against time. I fear we have no choice but to do battle on the best of your current abilities, and without the dragon mail I promised. Now let us away. Estinien must know the truth of Ferndale, lest he fall for the Great Worm's seduction. I need to move my newest jump over here. I want to say they've gotten better with like male and female sets, but that's not really true. They keep saying that they're going to, but they don't. There's like, so it's a huge bummer because there's the Nier Automata raids, and the female, the only way to get 9S's outfit is if you are a boy, and that sucks. If you are above the maximum, oh, I got it, no problem. Not that the girl outfits are really pretty, but where's your tummy window, Estinien? Albrecht, I have waited long for this day. You who fancy yourself an Azure Dragoon, the man whose cause you have taken for your own is a coward. He relinquished the power of the dragon of his own volition and watched as Ferndale burned. Uh-oh. Do you think it ironic that I was chosen as your dragoon? I, an orphan who was not of value to protect in Ishgard. I suppose I must give thanks, for it was the eye that revealed to me the truth. A truth so damning as to undo a lifetime of trust. I loved you as a father, but I can ill forgive you for Ferndale. As I understand it, you've kept the Archbishop in the dark regarding the missing eye. Do you mean to take your shame to your grave? But I waste my breath. Prepare yourself, old man, for I shall lay waste to all the things you hold dear. And once I'm finished with you, I shall do what no Azure Dragoon has succeeded in doing. I shall claim Nidhogg's head. Calm yourself, Estinien. Your rage renders you vulnerable to the dragon's influence. Akali. In you, I thought I had found a kindred. Someone beside whom I could fight the Great Worm. It is with heavy heart that I relinquish that dream. Your affection for this coward has rendered you deaf to your own destiny. Very well. That we would one day cross lances was inevitable from the moment of our first meeting. As we shall now find out who is the Eye's true chosen, there can be only one. This man has a lot of health. Feeble creature, dost thou desire power? Look to thine anger, and to thy hatred. It is there that thou shalt find it. O mighty Nidhogg, Lord of Dragons! Grant unto me thy blood, that I might be granted claws and fangs wherein to rend thine enemies. Cully, this is impossible. It can't be. Forgive me, Estinien. I have failed you once again. I am fine, Akali, somewhat shaken, but otherwise whole of body. Suffice it to say I have much to reflect upon. Let us return to the observatorium. You can't ever allow anyone to go full anime. There's Hatsune Miku, speaking of going full anime. Do you look like Hatsune Miku? Yeah, not bad. Not bad, little lady. Never let your friends go full anime. When the being of darkness closed upon us, you appeared to me in the splitting image of Haldreth, the Dragon's Eye, just as he is depicted in the Holy Scriptures. Oh, I became Jesus. I thought that mayhap the years had taken their toll on my mind, but behold, the soul of the dragon shines as it never did in all the years I bore it. It would seem you have achieved that which was thought impossible. You have awakened to the ability that none but the first Azure Dragoon possessed. Truly a momentous achievement. I can still scarce believe that you were able to summon the self-same dragon mail worn by Haldreth. To think that it had been sealed within the soul crystal all this time. I have borne witness to many and more wonders over the years, yet none compares to you, my young dragoon. Could it be that you are... Mark my mutterings. I am, certain that it was your indomitable sense of justice that resonated with the spirit of the first Azure Dragoon, prompting him to bestow the armor upon you. Yes, that is doubtless what happened. As the being of darkness faded, so too did Nidhogg's aura subside, and now his kind have ceased their stirring. Whether this was compelled by your awakening, I cannot say. I suspect we will learn the truth of it eventually. As Estinien, my dear boy, whatever becomes of him, he will never be as a son to me. Or he will ever be as a son to me. I pray that he is somewhere out there still, and he has not wholly forgotten the great man he once was. When the darkness brushed against me, the selfsame torrent of emotion swept over me as those I experienced 20 summers past. But there was something else besides. There was a voice, and it lamented the rift that divides dragons and men. You will come to comprehend what I speak in due time. Till then, Akali, I pray that you will ever use your newfound strength in the name of justice. It's true. I am the most powerful. We have done the most important thing we could have possibly done. Of that, I am pleased. And now I'm blue. And we've got the same tummy problem. Look at this. Terrible. It feels lewder than before. It's garbage. Now I need to dye that blue. Do I have a good blue? Will Woad Blue do it? Dye blue. Well, what about royal blue? Dye. No, royal blue won't do it. This is very important, you understand. Well, those are the only two blues I got, so. Whoa, did it. Let's go do the main story quest. I don't know if I have any. I don't have any glamour prisms. We'll simply not wear the hat. Oh, it's finally time for story. I was talking to Q because she went out to grab me coffee yesterday, and she said she waited until Hildebrand started before she left because she hates it that much. She can't stand Hildebrand, and it's and it just cracks me up. Oh, I bet we have a new dialogue in here. Yeah? I do not fault Sir Emmerich for being less than forthcoming with his beliefs. Not even his highborn are beyond the reach of the Inquisition. True, young leaders can be more amenable to new ideas. Then again, their lack of experience and influence can hinder their ability to enact reforms. There's a little fortune and far less fame in being a receptionist, but one must be realistic. Also, it would seem I was grossly misinformed regarding the average earnings of a street performer. A lot of new faces come and go all over the Crystal Braves. We're glad for the help, of course, but it's still a right pain in the arse training them up. Oh, we have talked to these people. I remember Thancred being drunk on the table. Oh, forgive me, Akali. Yeah, and then you gave someone else my lunch, and I just can't stand any of you. Minfilia is considering which of her many responsibilities demands her utmost attention. I am most eager to address the Ascian threat, however we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Isgard is tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Lest you forget, antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Akali, in particular, is ever a studying hand who I trust will continue to support the Braves. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Teleji Adeleji and his monetarist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with the ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Raban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Moonbreeder's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Urianger is poring over his tomes of the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Akali, while we focus on that task, maybe you could assist Elfino and his braves with theirs? It would do much to restore faith in the Immortal Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once again for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Rayol's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information, which others which kept secret. Hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the Uldanian riots. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. Teleji Adeleji is he's basically a 3-foot-tall mafia boss, and he is kind of cute. He's got that evil little Lalafell mustache. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in their usual fashion. I don't know if we'll see him again. While we focus on resolving the Estinien threat, pray devote your energies to assisting Elfino and the Crystal Braves. We are the Crystal Braves. We always save the day. And if you think we can't, we'll always find a way. Hello, Akali. Are you sleeping well? You must be absolutely exhausted from saving the realm on a daily basis. I think you are correct. Ever since Moonbreeder arrived, the Rising Stones has been buzzing with excited energy. I must admit her enthusiasm is rather contagious. I am unfamiliar with the dishes of this land to the north. Perhaps once Moonbreeder has concluded her current research, she might deign to share with me her culinary knowledge. Moonbreeder has charged us with acquiring some rather esoteric manuscripts, but I'm afraid the task is proving to be nigh impossible. When the City of Learning was abandoned, a great many tombs were scattered and lost. How smoothly our research might proceed were we able to pursue the archives of yesteryear. We needed a rare ore to modify the white aurosite, and Thancred solved the problem using only his link pearl. I mean, it's great and everything, but where's the fun in that? When one is in need of precious commodities, it helps to have friends in the right places. Fortunately, I am well acquainted with the charming daughter of a successful Ul'dah import merchant. We were but stripling adventurers the night we saw fire rain from the sky and a pillar of light torch the heavens. What a sight that was, eh, Colonel? Hore and I were in eastern Thanalan when the colossal shards of Dalamod pierced the ground. We stood witness to the subsequent explosion of Aether and watched dumbfounded as the swirling energy solidified into those twisted crystal structures that we know so well. Those two have been telling me stories about the corrupted crystal formations that appeared following the calamity. I'll need more data before I can draw a conclusion, but I'm intrigued by their potential and their untapped energies. Anyone else? I'm stuck. Is everything in order, Akali? Are you ready to attend us? Pleasure as always, Akali. You'll be escorting the commander to Ul'dah, I take it? Actually, I had another task in mind for her. If you would be so kind as to repeat your report for her benefit. Alright then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons that found their ways into the refugee hands a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising. A rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up at Highbridge. I doubt this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer that for this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind the merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Akali, don't it? Generous fellow, he was doling out swords and spears for the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say these clients have the same kind of mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, might as be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Akali? Then it is settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge and intervene with when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ul'dah. I expect good tidings. Don't keep Captain Ilbert waiting for ye too long, lass. He might have to start without ye. Highbridge is Drybone? I think so. Hello, Ilbert. Ah, Akali, my scouts have been keeping a close eye on the Black Marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he has hired more than a few men to stand guard. Common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a woman of your standing, and Commander Levier needn't have dispatched you hither. But powerful men have ever need of loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, 'tis only natural that he would come to rely upon you without hesitation. Ilbert is eager to bring the Black Marketeer and his clients to justice. Now then, we should make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. The first unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. With me, Akali. Up. I spy the one man, but there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create a distraction, my men and I will slip past and catch the Black Marketeer unawares. Once you dispose of the thugs, wait for us outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Then let us be off, and good luck, my friend. Who goes there? An adventurer? Damned fool, you should have never come here. Oh, there's two of them. trickle strats never work, my guys. The battle music wouldn't stop, and I was very confused. That's because I'm standing in the middle of a fate. There. I don't understand. What's this all about? Ah! Oh shit, a B rank. As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out, but before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard, and to bring in an inexperienced recruit. Commander Levier will be most disappointed. Damn it all, a golden opportunity wasted. Hi. Hello, Vashu. As for the clients, though we know not how they slipped past our perimeter, at present, this is the first, is currently tracking a party of dusk-white sellswords. We suspect may be them. Would that we could have enlisted the aid of the immortal flames of the brass blades. Alas, we're here to aid them, and they're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons, yet even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated a massive shipment, and this is anything but. Where's the subordinate that killed him? Bilbert. You can tell me if you did a murder. I don't mind. Ilbert would like nothing more than to have this incident forgotten. I will join the first in their hunt for the Duskwhite sellswords. If the gods are good, we will catch them before they escape into the Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask that you deliver those weapons to Uldad in my stead. Entrust them to the third Zuyuhase, and he will take care of the rest. Okay. To Ulda. Where is Zuyuhase? Ugh. Ugh, I say. Oh, Willard! And Elaine. Did you hear, my friend? I've received my first official assignment as a full-fledged member of the Crystal Braves. Why, Akali, this is a surprise. Resh wanted me to thank you for helping us to rescue her from the Castrum Sentry. How fortunate that we could meet again so soon. Oh, the Warrior of Light, ever reliable, friend to the Crystal Braves. You have my deepest thanks for your assistance in Kurthis. Now, what brings you to us this day? A gift of weapons from a certain black marketeer, courtesy of Captain Ilbrid, you say? Understood. Once we've cataloged the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? Royal stated with confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. A blatant falsehood. Clearly Raoul is unfamiliar with the ways of Ul'Dan merchants, who ever strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful that his information was not completely erroneous, and that we managed to achieve anything of worth at all. It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those Garleans up north. There will be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch and not to seek glory in battle. If you have further need of us, I shall take my unit to the ceruleum processing plant. Time for the Fourth to earn their keep, eh? Fight well, Aline, for the freedom of all. Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the immortal flames will hear of your contribution. Until we meet again. Akali, a word if it please ye. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time, don't you worry. Raha, Tia. You should be in Mordona. John Wick! There's just all sorts of people out here today. We met Biggest Chungus. We saw Miku earlier. Mila Kunis. Fantastic. Gladios. Is that a Final Fantasy XV character? No. Alright, I'm done looking at these random people with their silly names. Thanks for indulging me request. Few places better than a market for privacy, I find. All the hustle and bustle of commerce means most conversations go unnoticed. I'll get to the point. At the Burning Wall, you and the captain interrupted the exchange. What happened? Tell me everything and leave no detail out. That's not quite how the first told it. These Duskwights they were chasing. Latest word is we lost the trail. But you never saw him yourself? Not before the fighting started, not after. Something ain't right, and I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in me bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boasts. Our information was reliable, goddammit. I know he purchased those weapons. Huh. As if I'd never deciphered a moneylender's books or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Done plenty of that back when the Braves were getting started, believe me. The commander wanted the assurances that we weren't taking gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys. Forgive me, friend. I've got a lot on my mind these days, and I appreciate you lending an ear. Right then. Best get back to it. Akali, can you hear me? This is Tataru. Your presence is urgently requested at the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you are able. Rising Stones. Everyone's in the same spots. Thank you for coming so quickly, Akali. We've a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you, a most determined lady by all indications. Tataru seems eager to escort you to the Solar. Our guest is with the antecedent in the Solar at present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we? Oh, shit. Unexpected tidings from the north, borne by the Lord Commander's second. What manner of wind bloweth what manner of wind bloweth this day? At this point, it would be more unnerving if you spoke plainly. This is no time for idle chatter. Good of you to join us. We have much to discuss.
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. I believe the two of you have met.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer. The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragon Star burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers, not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
Oh, hello, Zeb! Welcome back. What were you guys just playing? More pillars?
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragon Star is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgard Soma himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald, only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Garlean fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Yeah, hello, Zeb. Welcome back. What were you guys playing?
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragon Star portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Not too bad. Just playing a little Final Fantasy, getting to the end of A Realm Reborn.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgard Zorma had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
How are you, Zeb? Oh, I see.
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgard Sorma.
Yeah, I love me some Final Fantasy, and I love me some Final Fantasy XIV specifically. It's a good story.
Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept?
I'm not super familiar with XCOM games, but they seem too smart for me.
We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
Good, good. I'm glad you're having a good time with it. Are we talking like Fire Emblem RNG, or... Forgive me if I state aught which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. As Arianji stated, what we now call the Keeper of the Lake is the wreckage of the Aegeus, former flagship of the Imperial fleet, and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step in his campaign to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius van Balsar attempted to seize control of Mordona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory a foregone conclusion. But an unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day. Midgardsormr, legendary guardian of Silverteeth Falls, burst from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the Garlean airships overhead. In what would later become known as the Battle of Silverteeth Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Aegeus. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's cerulean engines failed, and it tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. Yeah, I feel that. The same explosion transformed Silverteeth Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing aether for malms around. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and in its center a constant reminder of that fateful day long ago. In accordance with Sir Emmerich's wishes, our Doman allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage yourself. Be careful, my friend. We do not know what dangers await you within. Now then, let us not neglect our own tasks. There is much to be done and precious little time to do it. I feel in games like that, the RNG is never in my favor. Midgardsormr was once worshipped by the guardian, as the guardian deity of Silverteeth Falls, yet he has lain for 15 years. Before I depart, I must needs speak with the antecedent in private, if you would be so kind. Meow. So rude. Anything you can say to the antecedent, you can say to me. Y'all still having your conversations? Man, I wish. Okay, Zeb. Thank you very much, and thank you for stopping by. Have a good rest. Oh, that's leaving. I'm all turned around. Oh, look at the crystal tower. So pretty. We always enjoy having you around, Zeb. Where am I supposed to... There he is. I will toss you a little castle love. You're in luck, miss. I was about to send word to Reverend's Toll about the Garleans. Of late I've seen small airships, likely from Castrum Sentry, come and go from the Keeper of the Lake, though I cannot say for certain at the distance. I believe they may be salvaging some from within the wreckage. The Castrum supply lines have been cut for some time, and I'd wager they're desperately in need of some spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then. The Ishgardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again. Well, from here, that seems rather unlikely, but if it's assurances they want, you've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. I haven't. I had a friend, a friend of mine has been playing it recently, and I'm super interested in it. I might do that for a Friday game. Just to try it out. Easier said than done, given the creatures which inhabit the wreckage and the aforementioned Garleans who won't take kindly to your presence. They're sure to fire upon an airship, so I'd advise more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of the Agrias, then climb to the top. That's the only viable approach, I'd say. Yes, the game has intrigued me. Ooh, quickly. That's what I like to see. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Especially if it's something that chat can participate with. That would be a good Friday game. Goodbye. This paladin does not seem to do AoE attacks, and this dragoon likes to pull early, so I'm in for a time, I think. As I am always in for a time. Don't pull. Just let him go first. Oh god, he uses provoke! Paladins. Nobody's getting out of AoEs. I'm going to lose my mind. Don't pull with provoke. Oh my god. Provoke is a big thing you would do in World of Warcraft. I can always spot a World of Warcraft tank because you would pull with provoke, That was just part of like your rotation. I remember that specifically as a druid. That's not how provoke works in this game. And you would know that if you read your tooltips. Provoke makes you put you, I believe, second in the aggro list. So what you do is you use it, or does it put you top of the aggro list? But provoke is only useful if like you hit it and then you provoke it. So a lot of times what happens, specifically with like, I have to pay attention because no one else is fucking gonna do it. So what you would, Jesus, my guy. You have the enemy on you, and then either the black mage is doing more damage than you anticipated, and sometimes it's the red mage, especially early on. And so you grab provoke, which puts you back at the top of the aggro table, and then with your own AoEs and stuff, you gain more aggro over them. If you blow your provoke early and aren't able to get something off your, say, healer, then you're in big trouble and you have to wait a bunch of like 30 seconds to make another attempt at it. I'm the only one doing mechanics. I mean, you're not wrong. Oh god. Please don't blow up. Ooh, that was close. So what these canisters are, is that this bird does fire attacks, and he can blow up the canisters if he breathes fire on them. So you're supposed to move them away, and I was the only one that did. So, good job, everybody. Good job me, and nobody else. God, too many. I'm exhausted. These are not good gloves. I'm worried they're not going to let me watch the cutscene at the start of the boss fight, and it is a very good cutscene. I will simply let them perish. But it's also a good fight, so I'd like to be able to watch it. My friends and I, which is like Yak, who's in here a lot, we have a great dislike for people that play paladins. Because you get a random paladin and they just do nothing but cause problems. Don't worry, I got it. There's something about the class paladin that draws people to it, and I don't know, I can't explain it. But they make me fucking crazy. They'll either not have their tank stance on, or they're pulling with provoke, or they're still gladiators. Just the inability to listen and improve. It's one thing if you don't know, and I haven't told this paladin that he's doing wrong. Mostly because I don't think it's going to go well. Because it rarely does. Because if you don't know, you don't know. That's just how it be. But there is a very distinct status quo of just not listening and not wanting to improve. Everyone's gonna get hit by that. Well, people moved. Well, it depends on what kind of... What do you think your playstyle would be, Sprightly? Are you there to cause problems on purpose? Ooh, a lollipop dance. Pick up the key card. You walked right by it, like Jesus. Come on, use your brains. Oh my god. Do you want to watch a shit show? Because it will be this boss fight. I don't mean to be so negative. But the moment I see the provoke, I just know there's no hope left in my little heart. Maybe they'll impress me. Maybe everyone will do a good job. Oh, here we go. Right down the middle. Get out of the fire! Holy shit! He walked through it! Oh my god. Like, what is happening? He stood in that! I'm gonna go this way. I want to put my fire out of the middle of the arena. You know. Yeah, well, that's his problem. And if he's stuck there, he can't go kill himself. So, he's safer over there. I have put him in the jail. Oh god. Watch this. Sickest plays in the game. Holy fuck! I'm furious. I hope you all perish. So obscenely frustrating. I assume we died. Yeah. Let me look at these people. You have no excuse. Like, legitimately. You're on... The samurai might genuinely not know what the fuck is going on. Like this. No. He's gonna... I wanna get fucking baked because of these clowns. Don't stand in the fire! Dude, are you serious right now? No, 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 no! Oh. Jesus. I can't, I am just. This is gonna end up going. There we go. Fucking hell. Oh my god. Get that thing off of me, or we die. I don't even want to look at any of you. I'll look at these things. I'll let Garlean shoot at me, because it's better than dealing with any of you. The samurai just ran in. Like, I don't know what to say to some of this. Everyone here is level 50. Like, there's just no excuse. Well, that's benediction down. So, I hope you don't need that for the final fight, buddy. Provoke. Yeah, they got you.
Who treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet?
Yeah, it's different. That's why people who play, you can really catch the people who play WoW from who started with
Thou
WoW.
hast forgotten the face of thy Lord. Remember, mortal, and fear me.
God, this is also going to be an exceptional shit show, but it shouldn't be as bad. Don't do it. Don't. You guys, what? The dragon. He's invulnerable. Now I'm paralyzed. He is spinning this dragon, motherfucker. He wasted the LB on something that could not take damage, so that's very cool. We're dead. Nope, we're dead. Oh my god! There are two people here that know what is going on, and they are playing. Oh. I need to explain to my party. Yeah, I figured the samurai was new and he just said as much. the other two legitimately have no excuse. Oh no, wait. Yellow far, blue close? Yeah. I think so. B, blue and B. A bird ad is going to show up. Canister that creates a barrier to survive that huge AoE, but you need to be careful with the dragons because they can destroy the canister before we can use it. The dragons cleave, so tank them in one spot. I know a lot of AoEs are happening, but be mindful. Yeah. Yellow A, blue B. It's... the dungeons only get harder from here, my guy. But that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Oh, was I in there? I don't feel like I should have been in there. Bird. Please, please, please. Ugh. You turned the dragon. I can't explain to this man why. I have to stand where the canister is. Yeah, he's like, just don't stand on my side. And I'm like, don't be on the side with the canister. Fuck, dude. It is your job. I explained this already, that you cannot face the dragon towards the canister. Oh, someone isn't here. Oh. Underground has not made a attempt. Hello! There he goes. Hello, hello. How are you? Oh, you know. I'm having a time in this dungeon. I think Bird's coming soon. There he is. There we go. Ooh, that was dangerous, but we did it. This guy. How you get out of that, everybody? Yeah? Ollie? Ollie, you took that? Stay away from that. Oh. Sprint is a free action. Whoa. I'm trying, Dragoon. Or whatever, Samurai. You're just love taking damages. Yeah, it's a good fight. But it is, I didn't heal anybody, actually. This dude will not stop walking at AoEs. He has no idea. Like... I can't help you if you take every AoE. Oh fuck. That was fun. Oh shit, dude. Stay in the shield? Oh. Just kill the dragons, dudes. No. Just give me your comms. Tell me I did a good job. And I shall forgive you all. Just like that. There is a lot going on. I know Samurai, specifically at level 50, has a lot going on. But man, just don't stand in the circles. It's really that easy. I'm not calming you, but you should calm me. Go for it, buddy. Get out of here. Yeah, thanks. Alright. He gave me a thumbs up. I won't be leaving. It's just like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I can't stay mad at that.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve. Speak, mortal, and I shall listen. Guided by a star. My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn.
I suspect you were the paladin that I just had that caused me nothing but anguish. I suspect that's where you've been.
Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. We do not forget. We do not forgive. Seven children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution. I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal.
I do.
Yet thou
How do you do
shalt
that?
not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end. Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen.
Oh, I forgot to VIP Honey Bunny Bun.
Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent. Fear not, mortal. I shall not harm thee.
He said he wouldn't harm me. I'm sure I'm fine. Goodbye, Seth.
Mayhap thou thinkest me an oath breaker. Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's hand, not mine. I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing. Thou didst profit much by her grace, but no more. Their covenant binds me to thee. I shall watch, listen, and wait. Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and thence doth mine own find new life. When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth our beginning and an end.
So, that might have been confusing because the dragon talks that way. Midgar Somer took Heidelin's blessing from us, so we will no longer hear Finktheel or any of that nonsense. We no longer have a connection to Heidelin. Our blessing of light has been snatched from us. We still have the echo, because that's something a little bit different, but by Heidelin's grace, we no longer got that. And with that blessing that he stole from us, he gave himself a new body. There he is. This is like one of the few quest minions like actual MSQ minions you get. And, no, that's not true. You get quite a few. So now he can always be with us, because he is always with us. There he is. The story of Heidelin and Midgar Somer, I'm not sure is a story that gets told later, or if the story of the dragons gets told later. But he and Heidelin made a pact a very, very, very long time ago when dragons first came to this world, and she agreed that they could stay there if they helped protect Eorzea, and he agreed. So that's and then he lived in this lake here. Where is he? Where is the Agrius? Oh, it's too foggy. So he lived in this lake, and when the Garleans attacked, he rose from the sea and brought down the big airship. Oh yeah, it's too foggy. The big airship we were just on, and then we saw his corpse all wrangled about it. I was beginning to fear the worst. What were those explosions I saw? Oh, it was me losing my shit. But don't worry, my dude. But you shouldn't waste time talking with me. Elfino left a message stating that you were to be returning to the Rising Stones at once. Yeah, no problem. I wish it wasn't so foggy. Oh, Lucia. Have you spoken with Commander Levier yet? He has been pacing again. No, that I don't particularly care about. change, eh? Truth interpreted is truth transformed. Today's heroes may yet become tomorrow's gods, or something else. Welcome home, Akali. Elfina was worried sick about you. Why don't you go and set his mind at ease? Praise the 12 that you are hale and whole. I came as soon as Minvili informed me of Sir Emmeric's request. You have completed your investigation of the Keeper of the Lake, I take it? Then I would hear your report. You conversed with Midgar Sormer. I swear, were anyone else to make such a claim, I would regard it with considerable skepticism. Are we to understand that the Worm Lord did not perish, and has in sooth lain dormant these past 15 years? Less a resurrection and more a rejuvenation, for he who dwelleth in eternity, years passing as moments. Though his words were ambiguous at times, our statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard the song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Emmerich immediately. However, we dare not divulge your conversation with Midgar Sormer in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you heard the voice of a Dravanian is a grave but necessary risk. Lest we forget, men have been executed as heretics for declaring as much. For your own protection, and for the sake of our tenuous relations with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. As for how we shall present our revelation to Sir Emmerich's emissary, you may leave that to me. Pray remain here for now. Is there something you're not telling us, Akali? You seem different somehow. 'Tis almost as if you were missing something important. Oh, that dragon just sucked the life out of my body. 12 for Fend! Midgar Sormer stripped you of your blessing of light! Are you all right? How do you feel? I see. It is a relief to hear that you are otherwise unharmed. It beggars belief that any being could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgar Sormer made mention of a covenant, did he not? One of the ancient myths regarding Silvertear Falls states that when the waters came into existence, so too did the Great Worm. Athlek and Nemia, brother Time and sister Fate, decreed that Midgar Sormer ever watch over the source with which all water and magic was said to flow. I wonder, what if this was the covenant of which he spoke, and 'twas not the gods with whom he treated, but Heidelin herself? Well, if he is watching over you as he claimed, mayhap you will have an opportunity to ask. Let us keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. Art thou a pawn or master of thy fate? What hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal? He just called me a bitch and then left. And that's not a relationship I appreciate having with a dragon.
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Worm Lord and lived to tell the tale. I give thanks to Helone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness. Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other. The Dravanians are coming.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature. Will they be enough to repel a massive force?
Ishgard has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different. And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened. I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
The Ishgardians have warred with the Dravanians for centuries, nay, nearly 1,000 years. In all that time, not once have their enemies breached the defenses and entered the city proper. Yet, regardless of how strong these magical wards may be, I nevertheless fear that the Ishgardians are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it was not Midgar Sormer who roared, a call to arms by one of the First Brood cannot be ignored. Until such time as they choose to request our aid, however, we cannot do naught but observe the situation at a distance, and pray that our fears are unfounded. Alphino has a message from Moonbrita for the Scions. Ere I forget, I believe Moonbrita has requested a gathering of the Scions. I assume there has been some progress concerning our efforts to combat the Ascians. Pray inform her that our business with the Ishgardians is concluded for the moment. I shall be along once I've completed my communications with the Crystal Braves. Is she over there? Yeah. All done with your talk of dragons? Wonderful, because Ascians are next on the menu. Let's head into the solar, shall we?
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute! Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods? Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
It's very soft, and I like it a lot.
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea. I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it's worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum. During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Ascians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a Crystal Brave, you are yet a Scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Papalimo shall accompany you. Ida and Yashtola. In the meantime, I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Gallian threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white orosite.
Thank you, Urianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
Though I have little doubt you will prevail against the Empire's forces, I shall pray for your success nonetheless. Our very future may depend upon Mubreda being free to pursue her experiments. Northern Thanalon? Oh no. Did I leave too soon? Oh no. Speak with Alpha Note. Ah, beans. I left. I needed to go talk to everyone inside first. I jumped the gun. Whoopsie, whoopsies, whoopsies, whoopsies. Excuse me, everybody. I did a fucky wucky. We do seem to be running low on provisions. I believe an excursion to the marketplace is in order. For a small organization, we certainly chew through a prodigious amount of foodstuffs. Perhaps I should put a lock on the larder door. It seems you barely have arrived before you must once more plunge into the fray. Duty is an unforgiving mistress, eh? Though the tasks we tackle are not like to be as realm-shaking, Kantano and I also heed her call. Ahore was most eager to join you on the front lines of battle, but as fate would have it, the antecedent had other plans for our talents. I see that the Scions are once more ready themselves for the road. I too must make preparations for an absence from the Rising Stones. Oh, and everybody's gone. Everybody's leaving. 'Twould seem that the events have once again conspired to rob us of rest and recuperation. Though I would wish it otherwise, I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The Fourth have already deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Scions. Wilrid will brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at our headquarters in Ulda. I shall take command of our forces there with a lighter heart, knowing that you go to support the front lines. Your duties take you to Northern Thanalan, do they not? We too must say our farewells for the rising. Stone for a time. Philomean travels to Ulda, and we shall serve as her escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations, threatened by primals and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scion's cause. In past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eorzea must present a united front, or we shall fall. How extraordinary that my little Acilia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. A colleague with influential connections, but I fear that Ulda has become a place of danger, even for one so familiar with her streets. Bah! Woe betide the blackguard who so much as glares in your direction, my lady. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we on our way, then? Now I can go to the processing plant. Commander Levier sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your talents is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I learned a trick or two since the disaster with the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand, the Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Roban's Push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Garleans could begin marching on us at any time. Pray speak with Lieutenant Eldison, and that we might coordinate our counter-strategy. In the meantime, I'll inform the others that you've arrived. No doubt it will be welcome tidings. Sergeant Yana, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. Would that we could sit a while and reminisce about old times, but I fear more pressing matters require our attention. The civilian draughtsmen, you see, have come across several highly suspicious crates within the boundaries of the processing plant. I had my sappers take a closer look, and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices of Imperial design, no less. By my order, the flames stationed here are conducting a thorough sweep of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we were unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind this, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat for now. In the meantime, our scouts bring troubling news on the latest movements of the Imperial Army. I would once again ask for your aid. Lieutenant Edelson wishes to share a report with you concerning the Garleans' movements. We've been keeping a close eye on the Garlean garrison, and 'twould seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squads seem leaving Castrum are far too few in number to effectively take hold of our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on the acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared the report with the Crystal Braves. They've decided to take the field to meet this assault head-on, and I have praised your fellow scions of the situation, and I'm heartened to know that they will be joining the effort. Pray report to Lieutenant Elaine and lend your much welcome strength to the counter-offensive. Right then, time to see if all this training has paid off. Ralger, guide my blade. Glad to have you with us, Akali. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelson has explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castrum Meridium. Their main column assembles to the north near Dalamal's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. They wish to rush forth and if they wish you to rush forth and commit a battle with the main column, leaving the detached forces free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilbert. Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bid you and your fellows come lend a hand to the Braves. Such mighty heroes at its disposal, the Fourth should have little time contending with aught the Garleans might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The Third was getting restless, holed up in Ulda, so I marched them out here to fill any holes in the plan's defenses and add their numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage enemy far beyond the walls. Aye, 'twould be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course indeed! I shudder to think of the consequences should any of those storage tanks be exposed to fire. They would explode. If there are no objections, the Scion shall join the Fourth and give this battle to the main column. You're with the Third then, Warrior of Light. Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yu Hase. His scout should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. Crossing. A pleasure to be fighting by your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeed when you're around, and victories aren't wont to pave the road to greater coin. Hello! I will take a sippy. Thank you. Now, this detached force we've been sent to eliminate has split into smaller squads, the better to conceal themselves within the terrain hereabouts, I imagine. We'll need to split ourselves up as well as cover more ground and make sure we root out all these would-be raiders. And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, I've assigned you your own areas to scour clean of enemy soldiers. This'll be a simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when your task is done. Happy hunting, Scion. Happy hunting indeed. Easy peasy. I'm about to cause a lot of problems for myself. Yeah? Just a little? Are you enjoying paladin life? You seem grim, Scion. I'll take that to mean between us, more than a few Garleans won't be making it back to the castrum. These Imperials, though, they certainly made us earn our pay. I would be a happy man if I never had to tussle in with another one of those Magitech horrors. It is time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the 4th and let Lieutenant Elaine know the west is now clear. I would appreciate it if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein. Oh yeah, little baby Midgar Somer will sit on your shoulder sometimes. He's bumping into my ears and clipping through my everything, but it's very cute. He's a little baby. If you are you cannot. Some minions will sit on your shoulder. If you're a Lalafell, they'll sit on your head. So like the red panda will climb on your shoulder, the birds will sit on your shoulder, there's a little cloud of darkness from Final Fantasy III that sits on your shoulder, Nanamo will climb on top of you and will sit on your shoulder if you have the little minion Namano, the Sultana. Sergeant Yana, what news of the Garleans? The raiding parties are no more then. Excellent. The Amalja engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in any immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. Oops. Lieutenant Edelstein appears concerned for Mumbrida's well-being. You must be anxious for word of your fellows. Lieutenant Aline has reported a sound victory over the main column and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to other duties. All but one, that is. The Rogadin lady with the large axe? 'Twould appear she has chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I do not know what task keeps her from returning to civilization, but Northern Thanalan is no place to wander alone, even for a capable sort such as her. I would certainly feel better about things if you could check on her before you continued on your way. How is the dog gonna get on your shoulder?
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe. I know. As Urianger never tires of reminding me, an axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one. And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea.
It's Moonbrita. She's a scholar from Charlian. I knew you would simp for her.
Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it. So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether. Which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
She senses me. A useful talent.
Estinien, are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Charlian. Keeper of knowledge. Seeker of truth. Meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales.
Powerful women be made for simping. You gotta.
And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Oh, bugger.
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense.
I mean, I guess so.
But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh, dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
What did that bastard want with us? Nabriales, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious. But this staff... You say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff. Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
Minfilia's in danger. Oops. Now let's go do a big rescue. You're here. Master Louis Swaw's staff is kept in the scholar, isn't it? Quickly now.
You two.
So, you were able to divine my intent. What now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on. But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
They're actually not. They were the main bad guys of they sort of well, I can't super get into it. They are the overarching villains for a very long time. And I know they don't seem, they're all different people, but they're from the same, they're all Ascians. Yeah. That we have a lot of villains. We have Ascians, we have Garleans, and then we have like the encroaching dragons. So
Moonbreeder!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
she'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
It's just nothing but a flesh wound.
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
Well, there she goes.
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
Yeah. I'm gonna finish this, this patch. Or the patch half, at least. 2.5 is always split into 2 parts, but we will be finishing this first part. Even if we go a little over. No, don't worry. I'm about to... Are you okay? Forget about me. Go! Hold on. We gotta do something important before we go. Gotta pay respects. Oh, the durability. Nah, it's... Don't even worry. Paladins, huh? 2 of them. No. So, what you gotta do is you gotta take different balls. So you take this ball because it gives you magic resist, or magic down, and then you take a different ball to swap it out with a physical debuff. If you take 2 of the same, you're gonna give yourself a lot of damage. Oh, like that, like I almost did. There we go. Little ball. Big ball. I think balls got in. DPS is really good, I think. Tank is taking a lot of damage though. Balls. I need a magic down. That man is always so far away from me. I can only heal so... Some people are just too far away from me. Yeah, it's good. I hope people know how to do this. I don't have any MP. Gotcha. I forgot. That's rude, neighbor. That was so rude. What a jacket. It's always it doesn't get you don't get it in roulettes a lot, so I always kind of tend to forget. But it's one of those